Hans Wormhat. This is a video on the top 10 fake animals. And so we'll start with 10, the anaconda. Have you guys ever been to the zoo or some other place with reptiles and they'll have these giant snakes that just sit there and they never move? It's just a fake snake, and so many photos like this exist out there that are just ludicrous, obvious CGI. One of the big memes with the fake animals is they like to make things larger than life. It's part of movie magic. Have you ever heard how when people meet celebrities in real life, they're like, wow, I had no idea they were so short. And it's because movie magic, using angles, using movie magic, anything, CGI these days, they love to make things larger than life, blow them out of proportion, and sell you a story. The anaconda is one of those. Some of them are just mock-up fake reptiles. It's even a gag. You know how that's like one of the things that you can buy in a gag store, like fake snakes, a fake rubber snake. So they just make these huge ones and put it in an aquarium type setting in a zoo or something, take you into these dark cave area, and it just doesn't move. It just sits there because it's a rubber snake. Seriously, if you look up anaconda, this is what you get. You get a bunch of stuff that looks like this. They don't even try. It's funny. They go over the top. There are so many anaconda things that look exactly like this. J-Lo. Anaconda was a big movie. So another big thing with their fake animals is they love to make movies about it. It's just the same way about how psyops, they make them come to life by making a movie about it. Same thing with fake animals. Oh, make a movie about it. Anaconda was huge. This was one of the big movies back in the day. J-Lo is the anaconda. Do you want to know what the anaconda is? It's right here. That's the anaconda. This beast. J-Lo's anaconda. Okay, 9. 9 on the list. I chose the shoe bill because this came out of nowhere. It's just a CGI creation. Do you guys remember when the shoe bill first appeared on the scene? People in the comments would say that doesn't look real. It looks like CGI. That doesn't look like a real animal. And I think some of them are puppets. Puppetry is a huge part of this fake animal thing. And you can go research fake animal puppets. The Aflac Duck is just a duck puppet and they touch it up with CGI. There's YouTube videos of Komodo dragon puppets. Yeah, I don't talk about that in this video, but there's a lot of puppetry involved. But these days, a lot of CGI. So shoebill is number 9 on the list, fake animal. Number 8, I wanted to give something historical, the Dodo Bird. This didn't just start happening, these fake animals. They fake everything. They lie about everything. I don't know why animals are this sacred cow topic. And for me, it's a huge indication of if you're dealing with a gatekeeper or not, if they're willing to talk on this subject, the fake animal thing. I don't know why it's such a heavily gatekept topic. Because to me, it's similar to the outer space stuff, outer space lies. But in that, they're trying to sell you stuff to take you away from God. I'll get to that in the end. And they're trying to mock the Bible, similar to the outer space stuff. But this animal thing, people don't want to admit that they've been duped, and gatekeepers really gatekeep this fake animal stuff. I don't know exactly why. They like being in on the secret. They like being in on these inside jokes. So here is number 7. Giant anteaters are definitely a hoax. A winning entry from the Wildlife Photograph of the Year competition has been disqualified after it was discovered the photo was of a stuffed animal. What do you know? A photograph of a taxidermy anteaters. All great anteaters like this, they're taxidermy or suits that actors can go in. A human can fit in this suit. Look at that. It's like a Cirque du Soleil fake animal. It's an actor. Look at this amazing shot. 5 scientists all concluded the anteater was too similar to a taxidermy specimen. Notice how their experts are the most amazing, super smart. They had 5 experts that could look at this and determine, no, that's too similar to a taxidermy version. What? I think they just realized that this was like over the top. Okay, this is over the top, obvious Photoshop. We're gonna, I don't know. And also, they like to disclose. So this is just a form of disclosure. This right here is just total disclosure. They're telling you taxidermy, fake animals. Okay, so number 6 on the list. Do you see where this is going? Rope climbing robots. Sloths are not real animals. They're animatronics. And people like David Attenborough are big phonies. They're actors. And the reason that they're so acclaimed for their acting skills is because their ability to make it seem like they're taking it so serious. Their ability to sit in front of an animatronic and sell it like it's a real living, breathing animal. That's why these people get so revered and knighted, and because they're big phony deceivers. Sloths are a big one. I mean, just look, that's CGI. You can just tell that's CGI. Sometimes I've seen some sloth images that it's clearly someone like took a picture of their dog's face and put it in here, and then they tell people it's a sloth. Look at that. This is coming out of Guinness World Records. Life in the Slow Lane. It just happens to be laying back like on a recliner or something. That's CGI. That's not a real animal. That's just an animatronic. Look how strange. It's a robot. It looks exactly like these robots. Look, it's like somebody took this and then put a skin over it. It's not a living animal. And why does it look so different? It looks so rigid. And then these ones are super smooth and curvy. It's because this one's CGI and this one's a robot. They just have these robots that cling to things. Raquel is working from home. Look at these tree climbing robots. Bringing us to number 5 on the list. Koalas. This was a big viral pushed video on YouTube, and you can clearly see it's CGI. That's not a real animal. This video is just obvious CGI. And yeah, koalas are a fake animal. That's why these look like really bad puppets made of wool. Koalas are a bit, people from Australia gatekeep this so bad. There's big time YouTube alleged truthers that they refuse to admit that these are just stuffed, even though it's clear that they're stuffed. Giving you the one eye. Koalas are a hoax. If you go look at photos of koalas, their hands are just totally rigid. They don't grip objects. They just have like flat pancake hands. Anyways, this video is more about making this list, the top 10 list. I don't want to get into any one specific thing too much. There was this viral koalas in the car, and everybody could tell that they were stuffed. They're like, they're not moving. One of them like barely twitches, and everybody's like, no, look at that one, it barely twitches. They're all alive. That one just had a little bit of battery left, I guess. Enough to do a little ear twitch. But look, they're dead. They're taxidermy. It's taxidermy. It's a big taxidermy hoax. I think are we already on number 4? Penguins. The emperor penguins. The orange emperor penguins. The ones that they make movies about. The South Pole it's not icy Antarctica. There's a lot of hoaxery when it comes to Antarctica. And emperor penguins. Emperor is 33. And they're animatronics. That's why you don't see emperor penguins in the zoo. Except for nowadays they do, but they put them far in the back, or you'll just see a few CGI videos. Oops. Okay. Number 2. Is this really number 2? Maybe I lost track. 3. Great white sharks are a hoax. That's why they have to do Shark Week. You get a whole week to it. It's another one that they sold with the movie Jaws. They like to sell things with a movie. Anaconda movie, we get the Jaws movie. They don't survive in captivity. And you get so much obvious. This just reminds me exactly of those really bad Anaconda CGIs. Sharknado. Dead eyes. They have dead eyes because they're not alive. They're just little toys a lot of times. A lot of times they really do sell like a little rubber plastic toy as a real thing. Larger than life movie magic. That's what it's about. They take sharks and they just make them larger than life. They'll use cinematic effects, they'll use special lenses, they use forced perspective, scary music, CGI, submersibles. You know, for the Jaws movie, they made a mock-up submersible. It's CGI. When you just know that it's CGI, you can tell. There's so many photos of great whites, and a lot of them have expressions. Like, look at that. It's like a snarling smile expressions. They can give them expressions because it's just Photoshop. One little topic, I don't want to spend too long on great whites, but a big hoax is going out to do a great white shark dive. And if you read reviews, I mean, nowadays I've seen it's been fluffed up with fake reviews. Like, you know how reviews nowadays, you can't look up reviews of anything without getting a ton of fake reviews. But if you go and you search these shark encounter reviews, you get a lot of people saying that they don't see any sharks, they don't see great white sharks. I picked this one because it was just interesting. They made up this excuse. Killer whales had apparently eaten several great whites in the weeks leading up to this, so sharks had only recently returned to the area. They talk about Shark Alley, but don't go there. They say the big sharks stay off the continental shelf. Well, if you watch Shark Week on Discovery, you know that's a bunch of crap. Well, yeah, Discovery Channel, you're watching TV. If that's true, Shark Alley, you can see it from the... Okay, whatever. They say sharks are afraid of scuba gear. They make up a bunch of excuses why you're not going to see great whites. I guess that's a big thing they've been telling people, is that the orcas are keeping the great whites away. The people that talk about how amazing it was that they saw great whites, they're going to be throwing hand signs. You're surrounded by a bunch of phonies. You've been punked. Company boasts of experimenting on us with fake viral videos. They admit it. They're fake. Okay, 2. Now I'm back on the numbering, I think. Number 2, fake animal pandas. It's the poster child of the WWF. WWF, it's fake, just like the World Wrestling Federation. It's kind of a truth in plain sight, them doing that name change. The WWF is about as real as wrestling. And this, I just want to talk again, this animal thing. It's like a no touch topic for a lot of truthers, which shows you that they're gatekeepers. Why is this aspect of society? Oh no, this is true. There's no deception here. Nobody lies about animals. How could anybody claim that? It's a topic that people haven't thought about before. It's a topic that not many people talk about. So, but they're clearly gatekeeping it, because there's people out there that they talk about all sorts of deception. They can talk about how outer space is clearly fake. They can talk about how NASA is clearly CGI, but then you bring up this animal thing. Oh, no, you're crazy. You're crazy. And it just shows you that they're gatekeepers. Why is this one topic where, oh, everything that they tell you about animals is true? No, everything is a lie. Everything is a deception. Everything on the TV is fake. Dude, perfect panda. Look, they're mocking. It's just that this one is over the top. They take something like this, they make it a little bit more believable, and then they sell it to you as a real animal. But look, they're showing you that they're suits. Look at the history of the giant panda. It begins in the late 1800s. It's a modern hoax. Royalty, presidents, stuff like that. Royalty today is hidden in these things like presidents. Really, they're just puppets, but famous. Notice how this pandemic thing we have going on, how many famous people get it. It's because it's like a joke, an in-joke for, royals are going to be the ones that hunt a panda because they know it's fake. They're the ones making the fake suits. They're the ones in control of this media with the fake stuff. So they are going to be the ones that kill pandas. It's not going to just be some, bunch of rando poor Chinese people that hunt pandas. No, it's the Roosevelts that hunt pandas. Why were giant pandas largely excluded from historical Chinese culture and arts? Because it's a modern hoax. Look how you can just tell that this is a person in a suit. This is straight out of the Toronto Zoo. Giant panda gives birth. Somebody just sent me this, and you can tell it's a suit. Look at the neck region, and just the back. It's just somebody laying in a suit. It's just a good looking mascot. They probably recruit these people from big time Illuminati high schools. People who are mascots probably get recruited to be these giant pandas. And lastly, okay, top number one fake animal. It's kind of cheating because it's many, many animals. The great apes are all a hoax. They are humans in fursuits, and it's clearly satanic deception to make people believe in evolution and to think that they're a monkey. I liken this to NASA Outer Space Land. If you have the discernment to be able to tell that NASA's BS, you absolutely should have the discernment to be able to tell that gorillas are people in suits and that all of these great apes are just like NASA's there to sell you the outer space fantasy. Great apes are here to sell you the evolution fantasy, to make people believe that they are monkeys. People believe it. People really believe that. And the reason that they believe that is this great ape hoax. They're fursuits. Orangutans, they're orange. Orange is 33. They're just really, really nice fursuits. This is why there are thousands upon thousands of studio quality photos. If you just go look into orangutans, you will find thousands of studio quality photos of these perfectly clean, alleged wild animals. And it's just, some of them are over the top. I have a lot of videos about these, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But they take hair weaves and they make a fursuit out of it. And they look so different. They give the orangutans a lot of different, like, human haircuts. A big way that you can tell that these things are hoaxes is if you go back in time. You go back in time, these people clearly know how to draw okay, and it just looks totally different. The man of the woods, it looks like a little pygmy creature. It looks nothing like what they sell us as orangutans. Same thing about gorillas. If you go look at old pictures of gorillas, they look nothing like what they do today. And old gorilla suits are garbage. They're really obviously fake. Super shiny, plasticky looking, rubbery things. Coco the gorilla is just really obviously a suit. Orangutan is a truth in plain sight. It's a man of the forest. And they love talking about in the media about... I just showed a video where the big... I don't know, reveal was that they showed a mirror when talking about orangutans and who the beast was. The beast is us. Orangutans are people of the forest. They're people. They love to come out with stories about how they're just like people. They're just like people. They are people. They literally are people. They're just actors in a fursuit. This is straight off of Wikipedia. And look at this. There is a human finger right there. That is a human finger because it's a person in an elaborate monkey suit. It's Cirque du Soleil type stuff. There's a meme about gorillas. Gorilla suits are another big meme. There was a gorilla suit up on the ISS. And by up on the ISS, I mean down underwater in the ISS, because that's the only place it is, in a pool. There is no outer space. There's a meme of dicks out for Haram because it's just a known thing. Gorillas don't have penises. They just didn't make them, I don't know. They didn't want to make the suits with penises back in the day, so now they just had to run with it. If you just go start looking for gorilla suit stuff, though, you'll see. You'll see. It's the same thing. It's the same thing at the zoo. Doing a hand sign there. It's the same thing as the zoo. It's the same thing on the Gorilla Channel. It's the same thing when you watch Coco. Coco the gorilla is an actor in a suit, fooling you. Don't be deceived. That's creepy. Animatronic gorilla head. Animatronic gorilla head. If people saw this at the zoo, they would think that that's real because they're disclosing. This is exactly the type of thing at the zoo. You're watching gorilla actors with deluxe animatronic gorilla faces on. I mean, look at this. These are better than the one... Go look at old gorilla stuff and they pale in comparison. And that's not how real animals work, right? Squirrels 100 years ago didn't look like they were falling apart and made of rubber. Anyways, actors, gorilla actors. Arm extension crutches. You have no idea how often people will come in. Their body proportions are wrong. Look how long their arms are. Yeah, they're using crutches. It's all out there. They've disclosed it. Orangutans, a lot of times, are just CGI today, probably. The gorilla who walks upright. No, it's an actor in a fursuit. In 10 years, if we're still around, which I don't know, it feels like this place is falling apart too fast for there to be 10 years from now. But who knows? One day they'll have these gorillas building huts and building campfires, and they've really gone off the deep end with this. This gorilla selfie was really big mocking. People could tell. People could tell that this gorilla selfie, it's people in suits. That's all that gorillas are. They're all people in suits. That's it. That's the top 10. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm just going to end with some honorable mentions. So there's all sorts of fake animals. I get this question all the time. That's why I made this video. People are like, well, list off all the fake. You literally cannot sit here and list off the fake animal, because just like there's people whose job it is to make up fake NASA stuff every day, there are people who their job is to make up these fake animals, to Photoshop fake animals. The Probiscus Monkey is a good one, honorable mention, because they literally use, it's like they take a Photoshop of someone's ball sack and make a monkey out of it. It's a big joke. How do these animals appear out of nowhere that nobody's ever heard of? When I was a child, nobody had ever heard of a Probiscus monkey, but now we get all these same studio quality things that just look like Photoshop or a taxidermy joke. And I'm telling you, they take ball sack photos and Photoshop it because they think that's a joke. They think it's funny. Echidnas are an honorable mention. Just read this ludicrous statement down here. It's the same thing as the jackalope. There are many. I should have put the duck-billed platypus in here. I'll just say it right here. That's another fake animal, the duck-billed platypus. That probably should have made the top 10 list, but you know, can't remember everything. That's what I mean. You can't sit here and list them all. There's too many fake animals. But read this. Spines like a porcupine, a beak like a bird, a pouch like a kangaroo, and lays eggs like a reptile. And because they told it to you on the TV, you believed it. Pangolins are another fake animal. They love to mix their hoaxes together. Pangolins are a mixed hoax with this current thing. They said that this current thing was from a pangolin. First it was about bats. Then it was, no, pangolins and bats, and they can make up whatever they want. This type of toucan is fake. It's a prosthetic beak, and there's a lot of jokes about it like that. There is a real bird with a large beak in Costa Rica, but they like to make it larger than life. It's just another larger than life thing. Giant squids, fake animal. It's this sea monsters of the deep thing. Fishermen have been lying about the size fish they catch forever. Fishtails. It's a fishtail. Anyways, I think I've said enough. The reason that they make these lies is to mock Noah's Ark. How could Noah possibly fit these millions and millions and millions of species? Well, it turns out millions and millions and millions of species is a BS lie that BBC and PBS told you, and Nat Geo or whatever. There aren't millions and millions and millions of species. There's not that many species, and there's enough to fit on the ark. Evolution is fake. You didn't come from a monkey. Great apes are actors in fursuits. This is the reason, which to me, it's as obvious as the outer space lie. They make the outer space lie to make you believe in a fantasy where God isn't real. That's what they want you to believe. In a fantasy where you don't need God. And that's the same thing with the monkey. They're selling you a fake creation story. And if you can see the deception of the fursuits, you see it. See it for what it is. Praise God. God created all the animals. And God made man in his image. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And I forgot to mention zebras. They're painted that way. It's not really it's a real living horse or a mule or whatever. In this case, it looks like a horse, but they're painted that way. Black and white duality. You live in an illusion. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be, but it wouldn't be if you believed in me. That's how their magic works. They get you to believe in it, and that's the only reason it's real. God bless everyone.